Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. The Belize National Teachers Union on fire with the government. This story takes the lead in our 1072nd edition of Caribbean Perspective for Friday 19th March 2021. Details after this break.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
Welcome back. Teachers got your back. Belize National Teachers Union sends message to the government of Belize. More in this News 5 Belize news item.
9:30 on the dot, the motorcade began. Police confirmed that up to 90 vehicles packed with teachers who are members of the Belize National Teachers Union traversed through the principal streets of Belize City, sending a strong message to the government. Teachers do not accept its proposed plan to save on public service salaries and increments.
10% salary cut. Everything they go up after the salary went down. How we have people picnic? How we went our pocket and put money in our classrooms? No one to 10%.
Teachers does not want to take care of their families. We take care of other children in the classroom. I personally could tell you how many children I feed and send to school. And teachers talk about they have to prepare their classrooms. Presently, they have to be paying for their own internet at home, getting their own devices to do online teaching. So these are some of the things that they're really complaining about.
There are a lot of complaints from the public that, teachers not at work right now.
Trust me, teachers are working because being around a computer practically all day, and then you have after 3 as well where you have to meet with students, teachers are working out here. We are not physically in the classroom, but we are working at home.
But are teachers being unreasonable? Prime Minister John Briceño has gone on record to say that the teachers and the public service have not made any sacrifices as a result of the pandemic. Going forward, he says there are only 2 choices, quote, either the unions tell us to reduce the amount of government workers or they will take a pay cut, unquote.
How far is the BNTU willing to go because the government is not backing down?
Do you know BNTU? You know our union, right?
I'm not sure if this government knows BNTU.
Well, I think they do know us because in 2005, I think they were in power when we were out there. So they should know us and they should know what it is that we stand for and how much or how far we are willing to go.
Following a number of budget consultations between the government and the union, the BNTU devised a plan of action. The motorcade is the first activity.
Along with the wearing of the shirts, when teachers go to school, we ask that they wear their shirts on the days that they report to school so that the public can have a visual that, listen, BNTU is standing up and we are slowly progressing as we get into our activities. So it's a first step in terms of, say, coming out publicly. But as matters progress, as we hear from the government and as we get feedback from them, then we will be then meeting again and looking at what would be the next steps.
Among the many signs posted on vehicles were the teachers reminding the government that they need to legislate the UNCAC, cut down on ministers' allowances, reduce CEO salaries, legislate an asset recovery bill, and revamp the tax system. According to National President of the BNTU, Senator Elena Smith, the union has issued a counter-proposal to the government and it awaits a response.
We've submitted a counter-proposal, yes. We are having a press conference tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock at BNTU, and that is where we are going to be releasing that information. We want to give the government a chance to at least get the document and do some review of it, and then we will present that to the media tomorrow. Listen, everybody tries to appear strong at the beginning, It's when you get hit, that's when we realize how strong you are strong.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Guyana and China reaffirmed bilateral relationship as both presidents Ali and Xi held video conference on Wednesday.
China is making moves to push for more cooperation with Guyana while lifting the bilateral relations between the two countries to a higher level. That announcement came today from Chinese President Xi Jinping, following a virtual meeting with President Irfan Ali and the senior Guyana government team. Next year, Guyana and China will celebrate 50 years of diplomatic relations. In a statement issued by a Chinese news agency, it was stated that during the meeting, President Xi suggested to President Ali that the two countries earnestly respect and accommodate each other's core interests and major concerns, promote Belt and Road cooperation, and expand win-win collaboration in areas such as energy and infrastructure. Xi said the two countries have had fruitful results in cooperation since the establishment of their diplomatic ties, adding that China-Guyana ties showed great potential as the trading between the two sides increased amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The Chinese president is also quoted as saying that China is willing to strengthen COVID-19 vaccine cooperation with Guyana and will continue to assist Guyana in its fight against the pandemic. President Ali gave his appreciation to China for its assistance to Guyana in the fight against COVID-19, stating that the friendship between Guyana and China is strong and tight, according to the Chinese news agency. In a statement this afternoon, the office of the president only indicated that the meeting took place. Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, Foreign Minister Hugh Todd, Finance Minister Ashni Singh, and Works Minister Juan Edgell sat in on the meeting between the Guyanese and Chinese presidents. The meeting between the two presidents came just 1 month after Guyana was forced to cancel an agreement with Taiwan to establish a trade office here, following the objection of China. China considers Taiwan as a breakaway province, and the move by Guyana to establish ties with Taiwan angered the Chinese government, triggering a reversal of the decision by Guyana to allow a Taiwan trade office here.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago has begun talks with China on possibly acquiring COVID-19 vaccines from that country. More in this TTT news item.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago has begun talks with China on possibly acquiring COVID-19 vaccines from that country. Speaking on TDT's Now Morning Show on Wednesday, Minister of Health Terence Dial Singh said the Ministry of Health has been in bilateral talks with countries and manufacturers about COVID-19 vaccines since October 1st, 2020.
Countries that were willing to speak to us at that time would have been China. They were speaking to us, and different manufacturers. I myself spoke at that time to Sinopharm, so I can tell you that with a degree of certainty.
Sinopharm is China's largest vaccine developer. Minister Dial Singh reaffirmed that the government will only use those vaccines that are approved by the World Health Organization. Minister Dial Singh gave several reasons why this country has not received vaccines like their counterparts, Jamaica and Barbados. He said many countries are embargoing vaccines to protect their local population, and Trinidad and Tobago is not a priority for vaccines right now since our caseload is low.
You are going to see a freeing up of the system from around May for two reasons. One, more and more vaccines are going to be WHO approved. So it means Trinidad and Tobago, that has this principle of safety over expediency, will have more access to vaccines. And two, as the larger countries, especially United States, Canada, England, and so on, as they vaccinate their population, more and more vaccines will become available to countries like us.
On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and the cabinet team held bilateral talks with China's President Xi Jinping via teleconference on several matters of mutual interest. Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Dr. Amory Brown said on Wednesday President Xi has indicated that China would respectfully assist TNT's efforts to access approved COVID-19 vaccines in the near future.
Cuban nurse caring for COVID-19 patients in Jamaica. More in this TVJ News report with Shamila Pullin.
This evening, a Cuban nurse shares her experience treating COVID-19 patients in the intensive care unit at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Now, Nurse Maria Rivera says she is one of over 300 Cuban nurses in Jamaica helping to fight the pandemic. Shamila Pullin reports.
Meet Maria Rivera. Nurse Rivera is a registered nurse from Cuba who specializes in critical care. With Jamaica short of critical care nurses, Nurse Rivera and over 300 other Cuban nurses were sent here to help.
We came here in 2017, so we didn't come with the COVID pandemic. We came as a government cooperation program that Jamaica has with Cuba. So right now there is over 300 Cubans all over Jamaica, but it was before like 200. So it's a government program in which we cooperate. The group that is here, we were 28, and we came in 2017, February. We were supposed to go home last year, but that's when the pandemic struck, and we were asked to stay and assist Jamaica with the situation.
Nurse Rivera has been working in the intensive care unit, ICU, at the University Hospital of the West Indies, UHWI, attending to COVID-19 patients who are severely ill. She says each day her hands are full, caring for COVID-19 patients who are unable to help themselves. She says most of the COVID-19 patients seen in the ICU are suffering from underlying medical conditions such as respiratory issues, diabetes, and obesity. She says those conditions with COVID-19 have worsened their situation.
ICU is always trying, and in this case, the patients require most of the time to be intubated, sedated, paralyzed, so it's very hard to interact with the patient and give them hope to keep fighting and so on. And also, we have to give them all their needs. We have to do most of the things for them because they are critically ill.
She says at least 40% of the patients seen in the COVID ICU end up dying.
I think it's always difficult when you are caring for the patient for a period of time and you are doing everything that is possible. The doctors, the nurses, the physiotherapists, everybody is doing the best that is possible. They are here, let's say, 15, 20 days. And when they pass, it's really hard because we have been all working and with the hope of making them get out of the place and they pass.
Shimela Pulan, TVJ News.
Calling all vehicle owners, inspection and licensing continues, and at Hubbard's we want you to be ready. From February 16th to March 31st, registration numbers 2,501 to 5,000 with single registration letter, or registration numbers 251 to 500 with plural registration letters will receive 11% off new torque tires and PowerMax batteries. Don't get caught unprepared. Visit us today at the Motor Department in Mount Gay or the Tire Bay in Grand Anse near to the building supplies.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.